WWE, all these releases, this got to stop. Like, I just don't understand at this point. Like, I'm beyond confused. I'm a little bit frustrated. And by the thing that Casey had told us before the video, oh, y'all slick. Y'all slick. Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, they mean always, you mean always, she means always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
All right, what's going on, good people? Back at it again with what? A wrestling video from the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast? Nah. See, first off, we weren't even gonna do this video. And then Casey brought up a really good point because we were like, more releases. Let's just go through the whole full order of operations. I saw the releases. I posted the releases in the chat. Casey and Adam's like, well, we already talked about them. I'm like, where? I don't see them.
That is not how I found. Okay, that is not how I found.
And
That's a little bit how I found.
And then they say in their private chat, and I'm like, do I have to subscribe to this private chat, or how does this work? Okay,
you don't subscribe to the one I have you in.
Right, I barely subscribed to the group chat. So I'm slightly more subscribed than Justin is. Anyway,
that's not a flex. That's not a flex.
But basically, we were talking about the new WWE releases, which seems to be either a weekly, monthly, or bi-weekly thing. You never know when it's going to happen. It's completely random when it's going to happen, but then you're just like, wow, that's surprising, but I'm not really surprised anymore. Like it's this weird thing that like happens all. I'm confused. I don't know why. Real quick, I will read the. I think a friend of mine, OnlyFans Jay, shout out to him from the Third Perspective podcast over there. He had mentioned to me that this is like the 73rd release of the year. Like all of these releases makes.
And I don't think that sounds enough.
It doesn't sound enough. Actually, he said 73rd. The list I'm looking at that was as of today, November 19th, says the list of over 80. So I think originally he said 77, then he said 73rd. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a lot. It's a lot. Even 70 is a lot. There's over 80 releases. I'm not going to read them all because, of course, we talked about some of the other ones previously. But the more recent ones, Ashante Adonis, Make Draverick, Drake Maverick, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Jackson Riker, John Morrison, Shane Thorne, Tegan Knox, and Top Dollar. Wait a minute. Top Dollar, the whole group.
Now they bottom dollar. So
Top Dollar. So the dude. Oh, that was Hit Row. I'm tripping. Top Dollar. So wait just a doggone minute. Hold the heck up. Okay, we gotta talk WWE. So you telling me, and Casey, I didn't even realize the severity of the situation until I read the list because I seen Swerve Scott, but I didn't see Top Dollar.
I told you.
You telling me you brought up Hit Row. So you brought up B-Fab, Swerve Scott, Top Dollar, and I can't remember the other guy right off the top of my head. I'm missing him. What's his name? Is there somebody else? Or am I tripping?
There's four.
There's four. I just can't remember the other guy's name.
One of them was the big dude from the A&E show.
That guy. And you gonna release all of them? Except one? All of them? Hey, Casey, explain why this makes sense to WWE people in terms of other people not signing them.
So, and Adam brought this up, and it clicked in my head immediately that at least B-Fab, I don't know if any other ones, they, right before they were released, had signed a new contract. And to fans who don't understand the contract situations with WWE, in NXT, there's separate contracts from NXT to WWE to the main roster. NXT's contracts, if you get released from that, you have a no-compete clause for, I believe it's 60 days. 60 days, I believe it is. If you're on the main roster, your no compete clause is 90 days. So what they did is they re-signed them to the main roster contract so that they could release them and have the 90-day no compete clause. That is how petty WWE is.
Dirty.
Yep. As soon as Adam said that, I was like, that's exactly why they did it. That is exactly why they did it. And I'm wondering how many others that they've released that they've done that to.
I'm at a loss for words. Because number one, you think about it and you're like, what the heck are they doing? Right? Now, some of the guys on this list weren't necessarily like the main guys. They weren't like the bronze or like the guys who were like featured every single week. Of course, Hit Row was getting their comeuppance almost. But like, I'm just confused. I'm genuinely confused. And I think for me, and I think all of us have said this, maybe not have said it, but on record or whatever. But I feel like we all feel like it almost makes it hard to watch WWE because it seems like everybody you get invested into gets released. And for what? Budget cuts? You're a $1 billion company.
Yeah,
you got more money than me in your left hand, just holding it like this. I don't have what is happening?
That's not hard to do.
That's true because I got $2. I got
I
$2.
was gonna say you got
two things. Two. I keep one right here.
But yeah, like there were a bunch of people like, and I don't go through like the financial shit. I don't look up, all that crap. I know. I think Adam does a little bit because he'll talk about it here and there. But there were people who were saying like WWE is doing good right now. They're not having financial issues. So why do you need these budget cuts? There has to be something going on. There has to be something more to this that we don't know about yet.
Now I want some pancakes.
What are we looking at?
I don't know. But
I was showing a list of the releases because like these are the releases by month.
Andrade, they released Andrade. Oh my god!
Hey, did you guys
This is
know
just for
that
kind of
with the
people who
Rams?
like some of these people you'd even kind of like forget that they were released. I mean, like Samoa Joe's already been back, so you kind of forget that he was released.
Wait,
right.
All of these were in 2021?
Yeah.
No way.
See,
And that's what I'm saying.
Braun and Malachi were like those were the big names back in June. I remember that because I was in Vegas. Because me and Casey were going back and forth about that at the time. I said, if I'm Impact, I'm getting Braun, and I'm getting Braun with a quickness because they don't have a guy like that. Screw whatever you think his wrestling ability is. He will draw money. And maybe that could, I'm not saying it's going to get millions of people to watch their show, but maybe it'll just get more than what they're getting now to watch their show. And the only thing I can think of now, is that now that that ROH is, essentially, going to the highest bidder on their video library, is it going to be WWE buying Ring of Honor?
This is tragic.
My boy Tito. My boy. Sorry, what were you saying, Adam?
Were you talking about Tito Sabatelli?
My boy Tito.
The greatest abs in the history of WWE.
Yeah, and he was a shitty wrestler.
Hey,
you get out.
Hey.
I said what I said.
Yeah, man, NFL football player.
Yeah, and he was so bad the Dolphins let him go.
They didn't know what they had. They didn't know what they had.
It's honestly just the crazy part is I think it's even more crazy to just think about the fact that WWE had all this talent to begin with. Like that kind of blows me more than just seeing all these people release is the fact that WWE had that talent to begin with.
Wait, it
Right.
blows.
But not only to kind of go back to what you were saying saying earlier about getting invested. Put that aside. Just you starting a program in general, and then it goes away the next week because the person gets released. So we didn't get a chance to even to care. But if there was a high profile program that might have had some steam, yeah, then poof, it's gone. I remember, and this is not necessarily release related, when they did. I think it was the quote superstar shakeup. Samoa Joe comes out to confront Roman Reigns, cuts a fantastic promo. Then the next night, Joe's on SmackDown because he switched shows. I'm like, do we not have any continuity? But I guarantee you, Vince and the writers in the back are saying, nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention. We just saw it 24 hours ago. But most of these guys, the guys that we knew of, that had some face time on TV, but they weren't being used a lot. That's why a lot of these that have happened throughout the year haven't really bothered me, because I'm like, they will go somewhere and be featured. So it's almost a blessing in disguise. Right. Now it's just more so, it's not the releases per se, it's the continuance of it.
And I
for
think
the last 6-7 months.
We all too want to know what's the reasoning, right? Like, you can budget cut us to death, but what's the true reasoning behind this, you know? And like looking at the list, like John Morrison is one that was kind of featured, but not really. I mean, has he really gotten a good shake since he's been back to WWE? No.
You know, they put him with Miz. They thought that was going to be lateral to what they did before, but then Miz films Miz and Mrs. and then he was on Dancing with the Stars.
Right. And then he got hurt too, so that didn't help. So
and
it's like,
got hurt.
And the only reason they brought him back was to be Miz's sidekick.
Yeah.
They weren't gonna, and we knew that from the beginning. We were talking about it. Like, that's all they were gonna bring him back for.
Yeah, and it seems like it like hurt his legitimacy a little bit, because like he literally left WWE for over a decade, I think it was, and went all over the world and like was the guy that everybody's like, this dude's ridiculous. Why WWE let go of him? We don't know, but we're glad to have him. And everybody,
he was Johnny fill in the blank. Johnny Improv, Johnny Mundo, you know, et cetera,
he went to Lucha Underground and had a good run. Went to Impact and had a good run, and then goes to WWE and is relegated back to whatever, and it doesn't make any sense, because it's like, you see what you had in him before. Like, you see what you had in this guy. Why won't you let him do his thing? I mean, even like going back to the previous ones with, I mean, we talked about it, like Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. What's the point? What's like?
Why did you invest so much time and money?
Doesn't make sense.
Well, it's Vince's shiny toys. He may not want to play with them, but he doesn't want anyone else to have them. He sees somebody, you know, getting traction and, you know, getting real popular and get all these books. Oh, well, I don't want Ring of Honor to have him. I don't want Impact to have him. I don't want, you know, AEW to have him. So I'm going to take him and then not use him, but he's going to be on my roster so no one else can use him and he can't work anywhere else. It's how it is.
I got a question. Do you think that John Morrison asked for his release when Frankie Monet got released?
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Number one, they haven't done anything with him. That was
another one that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, like number one, they hadn't done anything with him. But number two, his wife just walked out, and his wife probably feels like, why the heck did I come here? For a paycheck?
Yeah.
When Impact was treating me legitimately?
Wasn't featuring her.
Honestly, it's kind of the Young Bucks thing where like people have learned that you can get more money on the independents than you know. I mean, you can probably get paid more in WWE, but you can actually get used more and get, you know, more opportunity to actually work and get paid. Like, it's great to be in, under contract, I'm sure, but if you're just sitting at home or just working out in the PC all the time and grinding and not getting that opportunity, what's the point? All that training to just sit there. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys that would take that opportunity, oh, I'm getting paid, I don't got to do anything. Great. But there's a lot of guys that want to work. They want to be in the ring. They want to entertain the fans. This is what they want to do. And
I kind of hate to say this though, especially about a company that we've loved for years and years and years, right? Like, it seems like now, especially, and I think the Young Bucks have proved it. I think AEW has proved it as a whole. The perks of working for WWE is working for WWE. The fact that you can say, I worked for WWE, I worked for, the biggest wrestling company in the world. Other than that, if you're a true wrestler, good luck working for WWE, right? If you're a true worker, good luck working for WWE.
And there's other viable options. Even Paul Heyman said AEW is a viable company right now. Like, Paul Heyman saying that, they're legit. We always complain that, sometimes their storylines don't make sense. Their book doesn't make sense. But they got the backing financially. They got the workers. And they're not doing things that WWE are doing. They're not making the mistakes they're making mistakes here and there, but people want to work there, and people, for the most part, know they're not going to get released out of nowhere for budget cuts.
They're not ran by. You tell me the company's not ran by a 70-year-old man who maybe, I want to say maybe, is out of touch. They're instead run by not only wrestlers but a guy who's actually a fan.
Well, I don't know how old Tony Khan's dad is, so they might be financed by a 70-year-old man. But well, and that's that's one of the reasons why I find it comical, especially on TikTok, when people are freaking out about all these releases, and it's like, they're going to find work. There are going to be companies, knocking down their doors to get them booked. So it's not like they're, they might have to wait 90 days, which sucks. Yeah. But they're going to get signed. They're going to get work. What we're worried about is what the hell is going on with WWE right now.
Yeah, all of us, I think. And the thing is, too, the one thing about it that I think of, too, is like, another perk of, I guess, working for WWE is you become, like we said, a superstar, right? So, like, there's other opportunities for you. I know a lot of people don't really like Ryback, but he's making money somewhere, right? He's making money somewhere off of his name, right? He's making money somewhere because he stepped in the ring. I can guarantee you I won't catch him in Charlotte bagging my groceries. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, but not.
And even if it's cameo, it can even be cameo because of the fact that he's right.
There you go. I got
but
you.
then
He's a blithering moron,
but people actually have to want his cameos though. That's the thing.
This is the man that put out a poll that said, "Where would you like me to see wrestle next? AEW, NXT, WWE, or retire?" And every single time, people said retire, and he kept saying, "Stop saying retire," and people were like, "Then don't make it an option."
He kept keeping it on there.
Come on, guys. He was the epitome, this big, jacked up, roided out freak on. Am I the villain? I'm not the villain. I can't be the villain. But no, for all the criticisms of Tony Khan that I give him, he at least has some semblance of product knowledge. He's not as clueless as Dixie Carter. Because Dixie Carter had her parents' money, but he's got his daddy's money between the Jags and the European football team. but he actually is investing it into a product that he has some knowledge of. And I don't know who all the figureheads is, who the talking heads are in terms of creative, but it's not a slew of writers. It's them working with the talent. What do you want to do? Here's what I think we could go. So they at least have that. So he's Dixie Carter, but actually knows what he's doing within reason. Like I said, like the bar's lowered a little bit. I still think he's a maniac that has the book that needs to understand booking concepts and basic psychology, and not listening to Meltzer and Alvarez all the time.
Well, also, one thing that I like is that younger talent is getting opportunities in AEW. And I don't just mean Sammy Guevara. I don't mean, those guys. I mean, if you watch... I'm talking about Adam Page. If you watch AEW Dark or Rampage or any of those, they have, guys from the indies coming in, working matches.
Did you say Page?
I swear to God.
Do you not like Adam Page?
I hate y'all.
So seriously, do you not like Adam Page?
I used to not like Adam Page. I don't.
Wait, did somebody say Page? I heard Page. Adam Page?
Anyway, guys are actually getting opportunities on matches on Dark and Elevation and all that, and actually having competitive matches. Like I've seen people that I actually know. I swear to God,
Diamond Dallas Page.
People. I didn't even say Page.
Wait, did you say Page? Adam Page?
I couldn't help it.
I swear to God,
Ethan Page.
There's people that I know personally that have worked on AEW Dark, not the other show, but they're having actual competitive matches. It's not like the dark matches in WWE where you get crushed and it's like, oh, but you got to wrestle in a WWE ring in front of your friends and family and shit. No, you're actually getting, like, they actually realize your talent, and hopefully it gets these guys contracts eventually, because there's a lot of them that really deserve it, which is why I tell people to watch AEW Dark, not the other show.
I heard that you said watch matches, competitive, and Page. So we're talking.
So anyway, the moral of the story. Although this is the same man that buried Shawn Michaels.
That is not dirty, Michael.
I just said that I like Bret Hart more.
That's all I said. Is I like Bret Hart more. That is not burying Shawn Michaels.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
That's one of my favorite.
You know what? We're getting Michael around here. I don't care. We're getting Michael Tarver.
The intro hits. I'm MT, Michael Tarver.
We're getting Michael Tarver and Orange Cassidy.
Casey's gonna be like, yeah, guys, we got a new intro. Yeah, I'm MT. I'm Michael Tarver. DJ loves me, right? Like, I'm gonna be like, what? No, that's not.
And then he's gonna have that torturous mashup he did of me and Orange Cassidy. Can you feel the love? Oh, I hate you so much. Here? I hate you so much. But bottom line, with all of what Casey is saying, AEW is doing more good than bad. Like, the good stuff is really good, but the stuff that still gets highlighted, the bad stuff is really bad. Like, they just need that little shade of, like, just eliminate some of the bad stuff to get me like, all right, not the best thing in the world, but I did enjoy that. Like, Casey, I don't know if you got to see Full Gear all the way yet, because apparently the replay was 24 hours later and was only available for 72 hours.
I watched part of it. Like I kind of
Okay.
skipped through.
Money,
Yeah, like I said, for
money.
me there was only
money.
for me there was only 3 good matches. Like, and again, the event wasn't bad. It's just after that first match, it trickled down, and I'm like, man, something's missing. And then it picked right back up with Punk and Kingston.
Yeah, I think
Because it was a fight.
I watched the first match. I watched Punk and Kingston, and I think I watched the title match. Those were like the 3 matches.
Kenny Omega and
Hangman.
Hangman Page. I don't hate him as much as I didn't even hate him. He just
He
wasn't.
did. He hated him a lot. Like I got a lot of crap for this.
Anyway,
real quick. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one thing I think that AEW desperately needs, and I think we've kind of talked about this a little bit.
Is it Hangman Adam Page as champion? Oh, sorry.
Yes. All right. What
does it have to do with Hangman Adam Page?
I hate you so much.
This is why we need more wrestling videos.
Like I was trying to say, what I think they need is something like the Performance Center, where guys can actually work on things. Because one of the things that we've always kind of shit on AEW for are the abundance of botches that we see.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a lot. Way more than there should be for a high-level wrestling show. And
Hardy.
Everybody botches, I get that, but it shouldn't be as often as we see it.
Casey, would you say they got to be crisp and no botching?
I quit. I'm done.
It's funny because Adam doesn't even understand. Casey, we have to have Rabbit on a video so Adam understands what we mean.
Chris, ain't no botching.
The beast of Boston.
The animal.
But
Yes.
where is he wrong though?
This man's only favorite wrestler was Bobby Lashley
and Scott Steiner. Because
Nothing wrong with that. Scott was over.
If you weren't Lashley and it wasn't Impact, it was trash. Too much botching, ain't crisp.
This has to happen. Real quick, I want to go through the guys just to see what kind of.
Whoa! Get a room. You want to go through the guys?
I want to go down the list of people who got released to make sure we kind of just.
I want to list the names of the people that were listed. We're not going down on. We're not going through.
Tragic. Ashante Adonis. Who the heck is that?
An Adonis.
Okay.
You know, related
is it Chris Adonis? Is it Chris Adonis with a new name? Like, is that
no. Related to Adrian Adonis, who is deceased.
The daughter.
Drake Maverick. I never thought he ever got a chance in WWE. He was always a joke. Which Drake Maverick is the perfect joke for WWE. He was always a joke, I think, regardless. But like when he had that match with EC3, it was kind of cool. But like, he's just so small that I don't know what you can do with him in terms of not having him be a joke. Sorry.
He should have been the commissioner for 205, or at least some type of figurehead. They cared enough about him for him to be a figurehead of some sort. Like, even if not necessarily bring back the GM, but it was him actually being in the ring wrestling was because again, you can't when you see it so much, you can't.
He is,
but wait. What I'm saying is, especially to that audience, they're not going to take a guy that's smaller than Rey Mysterio seriously.
Also, kind of sidebar.
I mean, Casey and him would have a pretty good match.
We would tear the house down. We have to get a ladder to start tearing it down, but we tear it down. Maybe a crane. I know I sent this to Adam, but he he made a really good promo.
Yes.
Why didn't you send it to me?
Because you don't use TikTok.
I thought we were best friends. I do use TikTok. I'm just slow on TikTok.
I'll send it.
I watch them.
You don't even go in the chats.
But it's
too
true.
many chats. There's too many places.
He made
There's
a
only
really,
one. There's only one that you need to worry about.
But he made a really, really good promo. I'm gonna have to send it to DJ. It was so good. It was like it started off with him like being sad and like depressed and stuff. And then it's like, you know what? People are gonna book you. You've done everything that you said you're gonna do. You're still gonna do it.
You can't retire from wrestling.
Exactly.
Did he say I'm not a loser? Did he say I'm not a loser? I'm Rockstar Spud. That was the greatest. I mean, the greatest promo I've seen of Rockstar Spud so far.
Yeah, this one he said,
Can you
can't
do the
can't
cock
get fired
mouth
from
look
wrestling."
again?
I'm not a loser. I'm Rockstar Spud.
That's really good. That's really good. No, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him very much. I thought he's a great personality. I actually even didn't mind before when they released him. He made that Instagram video, and then they made a storyline out of it. I thought that was good. I was with the little thing they did with him and Killian Dane, but after a while, I was just like, okay, again, this is, the odd couple type thing. It just was nothing. I didn't care after a while.
Yeah, I really liked his hair match against EC3. That was fun. Moving on.
I still like his work more on the indies though. Like in ICW, I liked his matches there. They were really good.
That's right.
I'm gonna just
instant
because
classic wrestling.
It's
you're right. We booked him.
Because it's all kind of the same group. Isaiah Swerve Scott and Top Dollar. What they were doing with Hit Row, I thought was cool and unique and fun. The fact that it didn't work out is, I don't know. WWE promoted it like it was going to be the greatest thing we'd ever seen. That's the issue that I'm having. WWE literally was like, oh my goodness, SmackDown got Top Dollar. Releases them 3 weeks later. Because, not Top Dollar, Hit Row. I mean, yes, technically Top Dollar and released them. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. I hate that Hit Row didn't get their chance to do what they need to do. But hopefully they'll be better elsewhere. Because it's just I'm real big.
At least keep Swerve. Swerve was good.
Yeah, Swerve was good. What's your thought?
The one that bummed me out the most amongst the list was Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
Girl comes back from a terrible injury.
2 of them, right?
Over with the fans.
Did you have
2 of them? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had that great friggin' program with Dakota Kai. That was great.
Kai,
that was awesome.
Absolutely.
And then LOL NXT 2.0. But still, even then before that, her story was just, it wrote itself. Sometimes you got to take what writes itself.
Yes.
We're doing this video because it wrote itself. Literally did.
Look what they did. I mean, obviously he's still with them. Look what they did with Ciampa. He's the NXT champ. He has to forfeit it because of a broken neck. He comes back and he's the biggest baby face of the country, of the company,
and the country, and Florida,
and the country. Yes. And his beard looks like a broom.
Casey, you got any thoughts on Swerve Scott and Top Dollar with Hit Row?
I think part of it especially with a gimmick like that is, and okay, who is feeding back? So hold on. Yep, it's DJ. It's DJ.
You hadn't even talked before you said that.
It's DJ. It's DJ. Yep, it's DJ. It's his mic is broken again. It's getting all staticky and shit.
DJ.
But And at this point, I don't even know. Like, I think part of it is them not understanding the gimmick, like the main roster booking, not understanding the gimmick. And I don't even know if it's necessarily Vince at this point because there's so many like it might be laryngitis that's like I don't get it. Ugh. But like just because you don't get it doesn't mean the fans aren't going to get it. If the fans in NXT like it, the fans on the main roster are probably going to like it. I don't know. I just think.
Are you saying that it's people power?
I'm saying it's people power. But I mean, I don't. At least, why would you release Swerve Scott? He's so talented. What are you doing?
Wasn't he Shane Strickland on the Indies?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So
he was.
Again, he's got a name recognition. My God.
Isaiah Shane Scott.
Yeah. And he also was in Lucha Underground. I forgot his gimmick there. He was under a mask, but this guy is so. He's talented. He's versatile. But no, you're going to bring back Brock Lesnar again for the 15th time. Is he still back? I don't even know.
Oh, that's where the budget cuts went.
What?
I said that's where the budget cuts went.
No, where the budget cut is and where the money's going to? Bugs. Come on. Let's go into Bugs.
He's worth it, though. He's worth it.
He is worth it. I'm telling you.
Jackson Riker next. Sorry.
Seriously.
Like
I
I
liked
liked
him in Impact, but
I liked him in Impact, and I learned about him as a person, and now
he's a racist piece of shit. But that's a different story.
Of course, we talked about John Morrison. Shane Thorne, I think, was one that was kind of missed on. Didn't he had a tag team partner, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, me and Casey were talking about it earlier. Nick Miller, they were TM61.
Yeah.
And they were because
they got rid of Nick Miller, right? Yeah, that's why I was like, because I remember us talking about those releases, and I was like, how can you get rid of half of TM61?
Nick requested for his release because he had a kid and wanted to go back to Australia, which makes more sense because after some time off, then he started going to New Japan rather than commuting.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shane joined him. Yeah.
They could bring back, what is it, Casey? TMDK?
TMDK.
Yeah, TMDK.
Yeah, Mighty Don't Kneel.
That I mean that's pretty much it for the releases. That was the 8 for this time. But yeah, it just I don't
Your
know.
mic is really staticky.
Is it? Should I leave and come back? All right, bye.
How about leave and don't come back?
It's time.
We get Tom Brand here.
I'm gonna head out. No, here's something. Like who in this regards, who should they have released and kept some of the people from this list? Like again, I'm keeping Tegan Knox, I'm keeping Swerve Scott. You can convince me on Morrison, but for sure I'm keeping Swerve Scott and Tegan Knox. Who should they have cut instead?
I mean, my thing is, why don't you cut some of the guys that you're not using? Like, I know Humberto Carrero. Like, I know that he's like, they got to be high on him because they got him in a tag team with Garza and everything. But they won't do anything with either one of those guys. Why keep them?
They need to release Aaliyah, I think.
Yes. Sorry.
She was so great when she was new. If she could have just stayed new, I think she would have been fine. It was the name change.
Well, here's the thing: of all the releases that have happened the last year and a half, 2 years, everybody celebrated with glee when they got rid of Eva Marie.
There's so many people on this roster that I'm just like, who that?
Yeah, I'm looking through and like some of these people, I'm like, who the heck?
Some of them I'm like, oh, is that Oscar Blair Davenport?
Who
Okay.
the hell is Danny Luna?
Who are you to doubt Danny Luna? Remember Kona Reeves?
Electra
Exactly.
Lopez. Who the hell is Electra Lopez?
Cora Jade. Okay.
Evan T. Mack.
Return of T-Mac.
Dave Mast. Oh wait, a minute.
Return of T-Mac. So right now we definitely have Aaliyah.
Hachi Man. Who that?
I was looking at that too.
That's terrible. I'll give you a name. This is gonna piss people off. Liv Morgan.
Oh, I gotta see Casey's face. Okay.
I'll get to my rage on that in just a second.
I don't care about her. I don't care about her at all.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. They changed this man's name to Happy Corbin.
Happy Corbin.
Yes.
Happy Corbin. He won money in Vegas. Now he's with Riddick Moss or Matt.
I wish.
Moss.
Yes, he is with Riddick Moss. I wish that WWE believed in nicknames. WWE is so extreme they'll change your name instead of just saying, "Oh, he's Happy Corbin. He's Happy Corbin. She's Happy Corbin."
Yeah, and I'll tell you one more. They need to set him free and just let him go to AEW. Kevin Owens. They have pissed in his mouth this year because it's inevitable. Him and Sammy.
You
Just
know
let
what
him
we should
redirect.
You know what? Byron Saxton.
You know what we should do? As a separate video, we should talk about people that should go to AEW.
Yes.
Or other companies in general that should be specifically talk about that. That would be a good video to do to have some more content.
Maybe Justin will be able to come out of Narnia for that. Because remember.
By the way, that was a
15 minutes.
long ass 15 minutes.
I'm gonna say a name, and it might give me some heat. It's gonna give me some heat from my 12-year-old self. Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I love Jeff.
Of course.
Of course. But what
have they done with him?
Is there to do?
Yeah.
People want WWE to give him a push so bad, but it's like, for what? For what? He's literally done everything. He's been the WWE champion. He's been the World Heavyweight champion. He's been multiple-time tag team champion. He's been the Intercontinental champion. He's been the U.S. champion. He's
been the women's champion.
Probably. He was in the first ever TLC match. Like, what hasn't he done that he needs to do anymore?
Win the 24/7 title.
Dear God, no.
I gotta look that up when he won the women's title. Shit.
I think it was with
Josie Hardy.
Jeff, we know that's you. What you talking about?
But they need to let Jeff go and bring back Will-O-the-Wisp.
Yes. Yes, please.
And act like it's a completely different person.
It's like when Dusty became the Midnight Rider and tried to think he was a different person. Listen here, I came in here on my horse. Everybody doesn't know about the dream.
That would be hilarious though. If the next batch releases it was Jeff Hardy and then he comes back as Willow and they act like
I'm sorry, that was a terrible gimmick. I know it was his from like
I kind of liked it.
It was so dumb.
As weird as it was, I kind of liked it. I wanted the Willow umbrella. I really did, so I could just walk down the street during the rain while it was raining and just spin it.
You could probably just make a Willow umbrella.
Probably, yeah. Anybody else got any thoughts on anything?
Adam Page.
Hangman. Anyway. As always, hope you guys enjoyed.
Anybody with the last name Page.
Yes. Or a first name page and not a last name for page. Anyway,
All the Adams.
hope you guys enjoyed. As always, you can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Ankle Podcast. Shout out to Kurt Angle. Snapple Podcast. Shout out to Snapple. You can watch us
Apple
Facebook.
Pie
YouTube.
Podcast.
What was that?
Apple Pie Podcast.
Try Podcast. Yeah, Try Podcast.
Well, I said Apple Pie Podcast.
Oh, Apple Pie.
Try
Okay.
pie.
Sweet Potato Pie Podcast.
Adam,
Yeah, Sweet Potato Pie Podcast.
Pecan Pie Podcast.
all the Pie Podcasts.
All the pies in the world podcast. But as always,
Can we
Hope
start
you
a Pie
guys-
Podcast?
yes, we're gonna just talk about pies, and the number pie. Like it's gonna start with the number pie, then we're gonna get into other pies.
Tell me, Lillian, do you like strudel?
Oh man. We hope to have a watch along for you guys coming up soon too. I think Adam had mentioned it, doing a potential Survivor Series 96. I think it was.
96, 25th
Possibly
anniversary.
tomorrow. Possibly tomorrow. So stay tuned if everybody's
At their
available
camera there.
on their camera. Justin might show up because of watch along, because you know how Justin is
won't.
about
He'll be the
watch along.
first in the chat.
He'll start the video. We won't even be here.
He will start the video.
He's gonna come in the chat.
In the
Hey, you
scheme of
guys
things.
want to do a you guys want to do a Halloween Havoc watch along?
You guys want to do a December to this? Oh, anyway.
Hey,
Hope
you guys want to do all of the WrestleMania watch along? Remember when we were gonna do all the reviews and then we did 3 with him?
Yeah, that's Justin. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys next time. Check out Casey on the TikTok. Check out Adam on the TikTok. I just watch the TikToks. I don't really got a TikTok.
He
but I just
scrolls.
watch it.
He's
The
a
podcast
scroller.
got a TikTok though. The podcast got a TikTok. Check that out.
We need to get on that more.
We need to do more on there.
True. But check out what's there already. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until why did he put his hat on? Next time.